Wow. So things are kind of happening here.
Yeah, they are, man.
I
It's
think we all saw it coming, but
yeah,
here it is. The
yeah. Here
moments
it
are
is right.
dropping. The moments are dropping like flies.
Yep.
Let's just
You got
start right
sub
there.
300 legendaries. You got sub 30 rares, and we
Yeah.
got $3 commons. That's the news.
Even saw a $2 common. A few of them.
Yeah,
I mean, things
yeah.
things are dropping like a rock, and all I can say is it is. If you believe in the product, it is time to load the boat and keep loading the boat because it's just going to keep. It is going to probably keep dropping. I don't see anything that's going to make it stop.
I feel like we say this every episode. I feel like we're always saying, if you believe in this product,
Yep.
then just keep. But I guess we're saying it because we are literally doing that. Like I know
We
you
are
are.
doing
I
that.
know I am.
Yes. My
Yeah.
my count has gone dramatically up.
Yeah,
If you're selling moments for $3, $4, $5, $6, I'm probably buying them.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I cannot. It blows my mind that people like. So let's talk about the drop today. First of all,
Yeah.
they reduced the number of packs by quite a bit because they knew they
Yeah.
weren't gonna, do so well, and they
So
still
how many
didn't
was it?
sell out. It was like
Right.
15,000.
So it's 15,000.
The rare packs all sold out. The premium packs sold
Right.
out. The rare packs, or I'm sorry, the standard packs, there was like about 15,000, and it got down to like
497.
4,500.
No, there was
Well,
497 I think in the end.
Yeah, no. So I'm saying it got down to about 4,500, and it hit a wall. Like I was just curious, so I would like hop into the queue just to see what would happen. And when when there was 4,500 packs, I would hit the queue and I would be like 27th in line every single time. So
Got it.
there was either some people buying a ton of packs, or just a slow trickle of people coming back for more, or what. I don't know, but I'm just telling you, it was like those last 4,500 packs went really slow, and like you said, 4,000 of them somehow sold, and now they're down
Sure.
to about 500 packs that didn't sell. So
Yeah.
what do you think they should do with those packs now? Like, what do you do with the last 500 packs?
Burn them.
Burn
You just
'em?
burn them. I think I think NFL all day has to take they got to put their foot in the sand, and they got to say, you don't buy them, they're gone. They're burnt.
Yeah.
If it's a number one cereal, too bad, it's gone.
Yeah.
You start burning those moments, and the whole thing is let's say the next pack drop, they put out a bunch of new players, right? And then let's say half the packs sell, burn them,
Yeah.
and then that's I mean, again, I don't know what it's going to take, but again, if you don't want your prices dropping, just reduce the supply, and if people don't want to buy the packs, then they won't be in the marketplace then.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, I'm your guy that I skipped on the pack drop this time.
Yep.
Because I didn't see a penalty for skipping on the pack drop. I went into the market today and I bought nearly every common for $4 or less. There's only a couple I haven't gotten yet, and I know I'm going to get them later. And a couple of the rares, I'm just waiting for them to drop, and I'm going to get those. And I mean, I probably spent, maybe $60 to $80, and I got all the commons, no problem.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's the problem. But this is what blows my mind, is that people are so short-sighted. Like, it's like you just spent $60 on a pack and got 5 commons in it. That the math just tells you those commons are worth $12 a piece. Okay. And if you want to like round or whatever, let's just say they're worth 10. You should like, people pay what things are worth. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if because I can tell you right now, commons, like when Josh Allen's debut was going for $90, people paid $90 for it and happily paid $90 for it and thought, hey, that's the price. And now that it's 30, they're paying 30, and it's because people are setting the price because people are stupid, honestly, and people are panicky and they don't understand. And it's like you are just automatically losing money when these people come in and they buy their pack and then they sell immediately for $4 or $3, and you just paid triple that. You're already putting yourself behind. I'm struggling to understand who is. And I'm sure it's people who are, I get
probably
it.
some of our viewers
who are listening to this are probably people who are doing it just trying to generate money because they feel like, hey, I'm going to get something out of it. But I just feel like, wow, it is like, that is not a great strategy for creating value.
I think that the way that they're looking at this is you can take the lottery ticket method, or you can take
I know
a night at the bar. A night at the bar. You know, you go out to the bar, you have some drinks, you spend $60, and you enjoy the ride. And I think that's kind of what's happening with the people that are selling. They're enjoying the ride, and you know they didn't win. They bitch about it a little bit on Discord or Twitter, and then they're out. You know, and then they come back the next time.
The $4 commons are basically you pissing out your liquor in the in the urinal later that night. I get it. Yeah. No, and I get it.
And I'm the guy that's standing in the urinal just picking it all.
You're the urinal cake. Yeah, okay. I mean, I guess again, it's just your approach, right? It's. But here's the thing: it's like we've talked about this before. The legendaries are 99 and 79 mints. They aren't lottery tickets anymore. Like you look at the legendaries that have come out. There is not and you pointed this out. There is not a Series 2 legendary going for more than $1,000. Even Lamar Jackson is sub 1,000. So there's no lottery ticket. There's no. Like, I mean, it's, I know. And I'm not saying $1,000 is still a good, like, if you spend a $150 or whatever it was, or $120 on the back, and you get a $900 moment, that's a great return on investment. But how many people are getting that? Not many, right? So it's like, it just doesn't, it's just, I feel like it's just, and again, I get it. We're all a bunch of gambling degenerates here. So, no.
I'm not, but.
Well,
not anymore. I'm not. Degree. I mean, hey, you know what? I didn't buy I'm proud of myself. My name is Ryan, and I didn't buy a single pack today.
Congratulations. I did buy a pack.
I understand. But
hey,
again,
I got my TJ Walker rare, so.
That thing, somebody actually put that thing out for $100. I saw it when it first hit the market, and it was down to $25 in like no time. It just,
I'm sure I don't know where he's. Yeah, he's $25 now. But yeah, so I got my $25 rare there. So lucky me, I kind of almost broke even on my pack. But
right, the thing that I think NFLAllDay is making the mistake on, it's the biggest mistake I think they're making, is that they're making the legendaries 79s and 99s. They need to make them lottery tickets, because that's what keeps people coming back for the packs. And maybe people don't get them and they get upset. But again, people play the lotto and they never win. Yeah. The idea is that if they are 59s and 49s and 39s and 29s, then they're worth a lot. Then they become more valuable. And then they look at the sky and they're like, I want that. But right now what they're doing is they're devaluing the lottery ticket. And pretty soon people, I mean, again, like you just mentioned, nothing over $1,000. It's becoming less of a lottery ticket. That's why these pack sales are going to start disappearing.
Yeah, and I think at the same time it's, so yes, to a degree, but also I think the ultimates are a lottery ticket. Like, and those really are like the lottery ticket moments. But what I think is devaluing the packs is that the people who are collecting these moments aren't collectors. They are, for the most part, they're fantasy players. They are, like you said, gamblers, like lottery ticket players who are trying to hit it big, sell it out, make some more money to buy. Like, they're just trying to gamble and make money, right? They're not like, there's not a ton of people who are like, and maybe I'm like old school, right? I'm thinking of like my old school football card collection where it was like, I want one of each. Like that, ideally, like I'm not saying I have one, but in my ideal world, I'd like to, even the players that have no utility and such, whatever, I still want one to have. I want to complete each set. I want to have the complete set, especially of like the the commons and things like that. Like that would be my goal as a collector. Versus, and then stocking up, having 2, 3, 4 of players that I really like, or rookies that I think might have some real future or whatever. And I think that was like the kind of the card collecting mentality that doesn't seem to really carry over into NFTs here.
Right, but like let's pitch an idea here. Sure. Let's say we take the new Justin Jefferson moment that's going to come out, right?
Yep.
And what if they took that moment and they said, we're going to do a pack drop, and unless you have all of the common moments, like maybe the base 1 series or whatever, if you have that set completed, then you are eligible to get in and get a pack to get a Justin Jefferson. Otherwise, you're not even in the drop. Yeah. Like what they need to do is they need to incentivize collecting, and then these people will hang on. But they're setting themselves up for a downfall by not making it so people have to keep moments. It's just that simple.
No,
you have
I
to
agree.
make people want to keep them. And again, if they announced something like that, if they said we're going to do a drop and we're going to put out 10 new legendaries and whatever, and if you want to have a shot at them, you have to own this. Everybody look at the challenges. Everybody runs out and buys them. Yeah. So then again, it's like they have to incentivize collecting, and they're not doing that. And it just seems like a layup to me. Try it one time.
Yeah,
try it.
I mean, yeah, I agree, but the problem is like, and it's so silly because it's like, you know what will happen, right? If you do that and then they say it, then everybody's going to bitch. Oh, you're making it too hard for people, who are new to get these moments, and so you're discouraging new people from joining. So,
but these are the big dogs. These are legendary big dogs that Again, it's like I don't know.
I get it, and I'm with you because that's the way I see it. But I'm just saying it's like. I feel for All Day a little bit just because it's like no matter what they do, someone's bitching at them, right? Like they can't, because there's no, like, the customer base is not the same, right? There's like everybody wants something different, and
correct.
And so ultimately it boils down to just like, who's bitching the loudest. So
yes, I do feel for them as well.
Yeah. So I mean, I'll say this: I think it's interesting. I think they're trying some interesting experiments with the crafting challenges that they're doing this time around. They've kind of made some a lot easier to get, like the Aaron Jones, the Austin Eckler, I think is pretty easy. And then they've made the Burrow a little bit more tough. And then I think it's the Travis Kelce one is really special because you have to burn some crazy moments to unlock that one.
Okay, but what's the light at the end of the tunnel? Like, I understand the crafting challenge and I like them, but the CD Lamb is a blueprint for what's happening right now. You do all this stuff, you get a CD Lamb, and it drops in value. That's the blueprint.
You do, but I mean, the Travis Kelce challenge, I think it has. I mean, it probably won't because it's at 10 completions. I'm looking right now. But it's close to being an ultimate moment. I mean, it is. There's only 4 completions right now, so this may be an ultimate moment crafting challenge because you have to burn both of his rares.
Okay.
You have to burn his common, and you have to burn his legendary.
Okay.
So
I mean, I like where that's going.
Yeah. So, and 4 people have completed it so far. So that's a pretty significant. That's a pretty significant commitment to complete that.
So they are doing a burn of a legendary. That is in the mix.
They're doing a burn of a legendary.
Okay, that is a good thing. That is a really good thing, and I think that we're going to see that with Justin Jefferson. I think that's exactly where they're going, and you can put me on the record right now. We've talked about this. I think it's going to go one of 2 ways. That it's either you're going to be burning both of those Justin Jefferson legendaries, or there's going to be some combination of burning commons, his legendaries, and you mentioned, which I think was a great idea, is that they might say you have to burn a Justin Jefferson and one other legendary. It doesn't matter who it is. Right, therefore, watching the floor rise of the legendaries, and that would be right now the guy from the Bears, the D-back. What's his name?
Jaquan Brisker.
Brisker, right. So right now he's 275. You could start to see the floor just get scooped up on that. So again...
I think we'll start seeing some of that, like start burning legendaries and then an additional legendary to start kind of eliminating some of the low end population there.
Right. Would you mind bringing up the Justin Jefferson legendary? I mean, if you look at the sales of that, you can see that people are already anticipating this happening.
No, he's up to 850 now. We were talking about him the other day. He was 650.
He was 650, but he was going for less than that. Like right before that catch, I mean, he was going for. I mean, I think he was going for like in the 4s, wasn't he?
Let's see. I'll pull it up. Let's go.
I saw a couple of his go like the day that happened. There was a couple of people who jumped right on it. Much credit to them.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as that catch happened, that was a good. I mean, you kind of knew what was going to happen.
You did, but again, some people reacted and some people just kind of watched.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, it's fair. All right, so let's.
I was not one of those people.
Justin. I mean, the thought crossed my mind, but it was, it's just that's a big commitment. So he's at 850 now. This is the one that everybody's going to burn, right? Because it's the Series 2. So he was down in the 670 range, down in the 550 range. So 550 a week ago before the catch, I would say. That wasn't quite before the catch, so let's look.
Okay.
So, 550 is about the lowest. 525. It was 500 way back here, but that was way back. So just right before the catch, he was at about 550. It looked like, I would say it looks like, let's see, tomorrow, 19/20th, so the 12th was the catch. So the catch happened right around, here? It shot up from 525 to 599, and now you can see it went up, it went all the way up to 1,250 here for a second. Yeah. And the market came back, shot back up. Now it's back down to 850. So people, the volume is there, right? Like there's a number.
Oh, yeah.
Look at recent transactions, 11, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. So, I mean, since that catch, there's been 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 sales of that legendary. So,
and I'm just curious for the people that are watching, if you can add in the comments below, how many of you would actually like to have that Justin Jefferson moment? Do you not care? Do you not feel like, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. Do you think it should be a legendary? Do you think it should be an ultimate? Do you think it should be a common, a rare? Justin Jefferson doesn't have a rare. Should it just be a rare moment? Or should they cancel out 2 legendaries and try? Because it is technically, in my mind, that is an ultimate moment. If OBJ has an ultimate for what he did, then Justin Jefferson definitely deserves that for that moment. That is,
he does.
To me, all day has the golden ticket in their hand right now, and they can just capitalize on it. And for their sake, with as bad as things have gone, I hope they do it and do it right.
So
I think that they should.
So let me throw you an idea. I was talking about doing Justin Jefferson in another legendary. What do you think about having to burn one of each Justin Jefferson to obtain that legendary or that ultimate? So
yeah, if it's going to be
both legendaries and his common debut to attain that new legendary.
I like it. And here, I'm going to take it a step further. Make 18 of the moment.
Yeah.
Make 18 of them. I feel like you could get 18 legendaries burned across the board.
Well, that'd be interesting too, because the crafting challenge is normally just say first 18 people to complete the crafting challenge.
Correct.
Yeah.
Or make it at whatever kind of challenge you want to make it, but the first 18 people to complete it, you got to submit your thing, so that's how they would kind of find out who's done it first and who hasn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to burn every single one, and then the first 18, and we had a discussion before we started here about some type of, I guess we were talking more about an auction. I'm trying to remember
we talked about setting a number and doing an auction based on just straight up cash, which I think would be different. But the thing I like about the thing I like about burning the 2 Justin Jeffersons is that, and the reason I think they might do it is you can see that everybody right now, you can see it's up 42%, the cheaper Justin Jefferson. So
correct.
People are anticipating having to burn one, but you can see his more expensive one is down a little bit. So if I'm I think all day you just turn the vice on this one, because it is such a spectacular moment, and you say you got to burn them both, because great, you bought this one, but this is, but if you want this moment, it's going to cost you, you're going to have to bring the dollars to the table here, as it is just to get this guy. So
I'm thinking that the other thing I'd like to see them do is take the 10,000 out of the Justin Jefferson. I feel like this is a good chance to get that moment from 10,000 down to, you could make somebody burn
10.
Yeah. You could say 1 legendary and 10 commons or something like that, and make that legendary.
Yeah, I hear you, but I'm telling you right now, you make this moment special. If you make it just this legendary and this common and these commons, everybody will do it. You make it, you'll get 50 burn. You know what I'm saying? You'll get 50.
Yeah.
You make it this moment and 10 of those. Now you're only going to get, now you can get 18 or less.
Got it. So, okay. So let me ask you what you think. Do you think it's better to do a Justin Jefferson, and X amount of common Justin Jeffersons, or is it better to do a Justin Jefferson, and any other rare?
I would say any other legendary.
Or any other legendary, I'm sorry. Yes, that's what I meant.
I could go either way. I mean, I think, like you said, 10,000 of his debut are sitting around. It's $34. That's, I mean, everything seems criminal because of what things used to be, but honestly, $34 is pretty good value for his moment right now. I mean, that's one of the top common moments you can get right now. So,
right.
Dollar wise, that's in what
and
the
that
top 20,
that is
top 10.
That is up. That one was down big time.
No, it's not. It's actually flat over the last 7 days.
Well, no, I mean, I can tell you I picked it up at like 27, 28.
Well, I'm just saying 7 days ago before the
7
catch.
7 days ago, yes.
7 days ago before the catch, it was $34 because it's at 0% here. Now, I get what you're saying. I'm sure it's fluctuated, but it hasn't done a whole lot. This moment's the one that's like, this was the moment. This was the one that was at 500 and now it's at 850. But I mean, I'm just telling you his legendary, there's only 59 of his Series 1 legendary. The floor starts at $15.99 and it goes up quickly. But if you had, go ahead. Oh, I was just
going to say the same thing.
Yeah, if these guys are betting their money on this Series 2 Justin Jefferson, and I'm telling you right now, if you think that you're going to get this moment, if I were going to try to get this moment, I would buy this. I would be buying that $15.99 Justin Jefferson right now, just because that's going to be what you're going to have to burn to get this thing. Because one legendary isn't going to cut it for that moment. That was. I mean, some people are saying it was better than the Odell catch. Some people are saying it was dead even with it. Like, you know, I mean, it was 4th and 18. So you think about just like where it was at, the one-handed pulling out of defender's hands. I mean, I don't know. We could sit here and debate it.
There's no debate for me. It's better, way better. It's a one-handed catch, 4th and 18, in like a cold game, in a game that actually mattered.
Yeah.
Like, the Giants didn't even compete in that game, if I remember right. It wasn't.
They competed. They didn't win that game, but yeah, the Vikings won that game. That was and not only that, but it was probably the game of this year. Like, so it was the catch of the year in the game of the year.
Correct.
So yeah, so you're right.
The moment,
I don't want to fall victim to, like, sometimes the more recent thing just seems cooler because it just happened, but you're right. There was definitely more. Like around it. So.
Right. I don't want to take anything away from the Odell one, but this. I mean, again. There couldn't be more of a clear shot to make an ultimate moment. They have been handed a gift.
Yeah.
Do something with it. Take advantage of it.
But ultimate moments, 18 is too many, right? So, you know, again, if they want to truly make this thing an ultimate moment, you're going to have to burn. You're going to have to make it a steep price, and to me, that is 2 Justin Jefferson rares. It is like 10 Justin Jefferson commons, and another legendary. Like that would be. If I'm all day, that's where I'm setting my price on that moment. That will then, because that's about what Travis Kelce right now is: burn a legendary, 2 rares, and some commons, and that it's got 4 completions right now, and it's not as good of a moment.
That did just come out. I mean, that's not like a huge
correct.
Like that hasn't been out too long. I feel like to get 10 people to do it, the Justin Jefferson, you're going to have to burn 2 legendaries, and burn at least another legendary.
And that's what I'm saying. Plus the 10 commons. I'm saying take
both
your ideas.
It's got to be a steep price.
But it's got to be, and maybe even a sec. Like, you know what the hell? I'm just gonna go straight for it. You got to burn both Justin Jefferson legendaries. You got to burn 2 more legendaries. Anybody that you want to have, and you got to burn 10 Justin Jefferson commons. That's my price. That's what I'm setting the price for on that.
Got it. So I mean, that would probably be an ultimate, because I mean, again, like, what is the cheapest ultimate right now is going for 14.
Yep.
Isn't that kind of the price? I mean, so to me, that's a deal.
It is a deal. So we may be shooting too low, right? It may be 2 Justin Jeffersons and 5 more, legendaries.
Yeah. Possibly. I mean, if it's I think if it's a crafting challenge, then it's going to be a little bit more dicey. I like the idea of the first 10 that do it, get it. I mean, that would be such a scramble, to say, hey, this is going to happen, and just watch people just
buy.
But
boy, if number 11 buys, you shell out $2,000 for that Justin Jefferson legendary, and then miss the challenge, you are going to be salty. So,
I agree.
Yeah. I I mean, yeah, I'm here for it, man. If it happens, great. But that it would be an interesting. Yeah.
right? I mean, I'd be curious. I mean, we could probably dig into it, but I don't want to waste everybody's time. But I would be interested to know: does anybody own both Justin Jefferson moments?
Oh, I guarantee.
And that,
Yes, I 100% for sure.
right? But would they be willing to burn them both? Yeah,
I mean, for
I
that
don't know.
moment, I would do
Yeah.
it for that moment. And I am more of a staunch hold on to Series 1 kind of guy, just because I think that's where the value's at. But I would absolutely hold or burn. I can't
Yeah.
think of a moment I wouldn't burn for that moment. Like that was, I mean, you think about like again, we're talking about good moments. There aren't
Yep.
many better than that. So
Right. I mean, when you
there
think
is.
of all day,
I pulled up. Can you? Oh no, I pulled it up a different tab. But the Justin Jefferson legendaries. There's 59 of them. There's only one person who owns two, and everything else is just one person owns it. So
Got
no
it.
one owns more than one except for Sam in Florida with a double A in the middle there. So,
Got
and I'll
it.
bet you he owns or she owns or they own they probably own the other Justin Jefferson as well.
Well, what the hell? We're here. Let's look.
I am.
If you don't like Justin Jefferson and you don't give a shit about this moment, fast forward a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sam Fla owns both.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
So, Sam, we're talking about you.
It looks
gotta
like a
get
couple
it.
other people do, like Kookaburra. Looks like they own. Yeah,
well.
Kookaburra owns both Jeffersons.
I think
There's
he owns just
definitely
about everything.
there are definitely some people who own both Jeffersons. I can't tell
Sure.
exactly how many. We'd have to
Right.
do, I again, that would bore people, but let's just say there are definitely people who own both. Probably 10 already. Like, I mean, there's probably 10
Possibly.
out there who already do. It's just they would have to choose to do that. So,
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, again, I don't know if you make it an ultimate. I would, if it were me, I would say I would make it a legendary 18 instead
Yeah.
of going for the ultimate. It just,
I mean, I
there's
think
something
again, if you make it a
people
crafting
would
challenge, they're gonna just leave the door open. Here's the thing:
don't make it a crafting challenge. Yeah.
I think you do. Here's why: you can't have more than 59. You can't have more than 59.
Why?
There are only
Oh,
59.
because okay, yeah,
So, and no, there's no
Yeah.
way that every one of them gets burned. That would be. Could you
Yeah.
imagine that? You would wind up creating. Like, think about it. If there are 59, and let's say 40 people burn, that Series 1 Justin Jefferson legendary, now there's only 19
would be worth
of it.
more.
I don't know if it would be worth more, but it would be, it'd be hard to. If there's 19
Yeah.
of those and 40 of that catch is better. So I think that'll raise up the price on that. But that 19 one, that would be super rare to have that. So I would go ahead and say, like we saw with CD Lamb, the everybody burned their CD Lambs to try to get the Series 2 CD Lamb. The Series 1 CD Lamb is worth more than the Series 2. So
It's
basically,
like double.
is it double? I don't know. It's
Yeah, 150 and 80. It's not quite double, but it's just about there.
Are you looking right now, or here I can look?
No, I looked earlier, but yeah, current price I don't know, but it's bad.
So let's look. CD Lamb rares, 139 and 88. So 140
it's dropped a
and
little bit.
140 and 90. So but yeah, that's my point. Is it's like everybody scrambled to buy a CD Lamb Series 1 to burn for that crafting challenge.
Yeah.
And they could have just waited and bought CD Lamb for cheaper in the end anyway.
Yeah, and good old Leighton Vander Esch is, still worth something. Some of those guys that you had to burn. You remember you had to burn all those rares?
Another rare and stuff. So it's like, this is where I'm not. I don't see, like, to me it's like, all right, we can talk about the packs and like the gambling mentality, but this right here, this is the mentality that blows my like there's no pack involved in here, right? This was people burn CD Lambs that are now worth 140, and they're trying to sell their CD Lamb for 88. that does not, like, if my CeeDee Lamb were listed for 88 and I saw the thing that I burnt, just one of the things I burnt for 140 floor, why am I selling it for 88? Like, what are you thinking? Like, why, like, I don't know. I get that people may need money or this or that. I know, like, things happen, but it just doesn't, you're not making a solid decision. And I say this as someone who I did have just in full transparency, had a CD Lamb Series 1, tried to burn it. Somehow the transaction didn't go through. And I know, like, I remember this was when we were on our trip to Baltimore and DC.
Yeah.
I was pissed off because my transaction didn't go through, and I was mad I wasn't going to get my CD Lamb craft challenge complete and did not get it. It turns out that was a blessing in disguise, because now I still have my CD Lamb for 140, and I went out and bought a CD Lamb for $80, and
well, I don't know if you got it for 80, did you?
82.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah. So it's like thanks, like, thanks for, screwing up on the technology. But, like, I remember I was pissed off. I thought, like, I, made this big mistake, but turns out that, it saved me money for not doing that. So.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing how that works.
Yeah. Well, lucky on that one.
Let's jump off the Justin Jefferson. Let's get into the pack drop today and go through some of the moments and kind of talk about, a few things. I just want to say one thing up front about the pack drop that I really liked. A real big positive is that they didn't do a lot of retreads of old players. They did have a Kirk Cousins, and they did
he didn't have a common, so that made sense.
Still, but I mean, like, they didn't waste their time making players that have already got a lot of moments. Now, Kirk Cousins actually makes sense as a common, but they spent a lot of time making a lot of new people like Stingley Jr., Travis Etienne. I can't even think of names off the top of my head, but again, they didn't spend a lot of time making players again and again. And you see, like, Donovan Peoples-Jones, he has a common that's not going for anything. Don't know why you'd give him a rare. That was a good play, but I don't understand that one. But you can see that one has dropped dramatically because, again, it's I don't know. There's not a lot of people that want multiple Donovan Peoples-Jones moments. But let's go through them.
Yeah. So. DeAndre Hopkins, that was a debut.
Can we do like a filter and maybe start with the legendaries and work our way down or something? Or
I don't think so. It's just showing, like, the moments in the drop.
Oh, okay.
So we're just gonna kind of roll through.
Okay, so
a lot of debuts, like you said. There's a debut for Cole Kmet, that's a fantasy ad. He's had 5 touchdowns in the last 2 games.
Right. That was a great
Pierce, one. That's probably another fantasy ad. Yeah.
Yep.
Juju Smith-Schuster didn't have a rare, so now he has a rare with the Chiefs. I think he already had a common, but it was a Steelers jersey, so that makes sense. Joseph Day, that's just like, a defensive ad there. Here's a smart one, right? Like the Packers, you need Romeo Doubs. We got Christian Watson last drop, so they needed to add his other receiver, because up until a few weeks ago, this guy would have been out playing Watson, and
got it.
Probably was a smart play, but now Watson's kind of come on. Cousins did not have a common, so there's like a good fantasy ad.
Yep.
Ingold, which is, he's a running back for the Dolphins. He's a nice ad, but in addition, they're running a little promotion with him right now, where if you own his moment, you're automatically entered in to win signed merch by him. So that's a nice one to have.
Yeah, that's cool.
I like DeAndre Hopkins hadn't been in there, so it's nice to have him. PJ
How
Walker.
About the PJ Walker?
Yeah,
and then he gets benched.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, but again, like, I mean, it was. I guess it was kind of a rare moment, but again, it's like, you got to ask yourself, PJ Walker, not probably going to be in the lineup for a long time. So you make this rare of him. Yeah, what's it gonna? I mean, you make 999 of them. There's not that many people that are going to want that moment. That's Panthers fans aren't hanging their hat on that moment.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I got you.
To me, that should have been a common 5,000. Kind of like, it reminds me of like a Cade York. Great play, but it's not going to be highly desired.
Sure. Rookie drop, Sam Williams for the Cowboys. Rookie drop, Malcolm Rodriguez for the Lions.
Can we go back up to
Jones?
Can I go back up real quick? Alvin Kamara, 79 again. I don't see 79 people. What's the reason to have an Alvin Kamara?
Again, they're making. I'm telling you, the idea was, I think that more people wanted more legendaries, and so people were willing to say, "Hey, I'm willing." Like, I think people don't want $4,000 legendaries. I think people want sub 1,000 legendaries and more of them, so they can access them and have them in their collection. And the ultimates, like you said, are like, I think those are the lottery tickets. Like, I think that's what the majority of people want.
Maybe that's the way it's going, but again, I see 79 of those. His common's not going for diddly poo. I mean,
yeah.
All right.
Brisker rookie debut. Adoree Jackson with his
I thought
debut.
the Adoree Jackson was cool. The Malcolm Rodriguez. Yeah, I've heard his name flash quite a bit on for the Lions, so that was kind of cool to see that one.
Got a debut.
Yeah.
Ezekiel Elliott got a common, so there's like a fantasy type move there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Dulcich is a rookie. Ertz got a moment. He hadn't had a moment.
He needed
yet,
one.
So it's good for him.
Desperately.
Gus Edwards had needed a moment, got one.
Singletary needed one. Or Stingley, sorry.
Kenneth Walker had not had a moment. So I'm noticing this trend where they're taking the rookies, any rookie who's like kind of halfway decent or better. We saw this with Trayvon Walker. We saw it with Aiden Hutchinson.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it with the running back out of the Houston. What's his name? Pierce? Is it Pierce?
Yeah.
And now we're seeing it with Kenneth Walker. So they're doing legendaries for the rookie drops, so here's what I'll say. Okay. So let me just say something. Like, I know that you're kind of cringing and you're like, oh, they shouldn't do that. Like, they should make it a common, make it more accessible.
No.
But here's what I like about this. If you think there is a collectible future in this product, there are only 99 or less of some of the biggest names in this draft. Trayvon Walker, Aiden Hutchinson, Kenneth Walker, I forgot his name. Whatever Pierce's first name is. Sorry, I don't remember. But Pierce
Texans
from the
running
Texans. Back. Yeah. And think about it. Like, if again, long term, think about it. Those are like, I'm telling you, those are moments to buy, because in 5 years, those are going to be guys hitting their big contracts because they've been studs. And if this thing picks up, and there's only 99 of them, I mean, those are some sought after. That will be very sought after. So I kind of like it. It's like these are some sneaky good legendaries to these rookie legendaries. It's not like last series we had like Percy Harvin, or not Percy Harvin, but what was the punter's name from the Steelers?
Presley Harvin.
Presley. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, whatever. He's a punter. We had Evan McPherson from the Bengals as a kicker. We didn't really have like the big names. Like there was Jalen Waddle was out there. He was, I think his rookie was a legendary. Kyle Pitts. There's a couple, but I really like what they're doing here with these a little bit larger of release, 77, 79, 99s, and putting out some of these big names. So anyway, sorry.
I feel like for the rookies, they should definitely be 99. Like if they're gonna do a rookie moment as a legendary, it should be 99. But again, I feel like there's enough people that would want them that I feel like rare is the perfect place to go with those. Legendary, I think this is where me and you kind of don't see eye to eye. I feel like the legendary is, you feel like the ultimate is kind of like the new legendary. I feel like the legendary is still the old legendary.
Yeah.
I think that's just the difference. I mean, I look back on that Chicago Bears moment. There's 29 of them.
Yeah.
That's their team debut.
But that's a legendary. So that's a legendary, but that's a 29. There are no more 29. There's no more 29 mints. That's those are like very special. So
I know, but why did they get rid of that? You're right. They're very special.
Yeah.
That's the point.
No,
that's
I agree.
why they're legendary.
I agree. And I'm telling you, the reason they did it was that they're trying to make these moments more accessible to people. I think people bitched and said, "Hey, make the ultimates the ones that we can't afford. Make the legendaries in the same stratosphere of what we can afford." I think that's why.
Yeah, then they shouldn't have listened, because I feel like that, and we could go back and forth on that all day. I just think that's where they're making their mistake.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, I hear you, but at the same time, there's not enough people that are buying these moments to warrant, to warrant more of them. So I don't think these guys should be rares. I don't think Kenneth Walker should be a rare.
okay, so why? Let me back that
Sure.
ass up and say Kenneth Walker should be a rare because he doesn't need a legendary. He shouldn't. There should be no Kenneth Walker legendary. There should just be a Kenneth Walker rare. And if he's popular enough, then you make the common. They got to stop making legendaries of guys that have no future. Legendaries should be like the Aaron Rodgers, the Josh Allens, the Travis Kelce's, the big name. There should be no Presley Harvin.
But see,
fucking legendary.
Okay.
That's the problem.
Understood what you're saying, but here's what I'll say: the tier is not meant to be the players tier. It is meant to be the moments tier. So
okay,
that's what it's supposed to be.
Bring up Kenneth Walker's moment.
Sure.
Let's watch it. Let's see how legendary this moment is.
All right.
Dial it up.
74-yard touchdown run.
Is this a legendary run?
I mean, it's a good. I mean, a 74-yard touchdown run is not. That is it legendary? I mean, I know you're going to say like legendary, blah, 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 but I mean, yeah, for this season it is. If you were going to tell me like legendary moments, a 74-yard touchdown is pretty legendary this season. Like that's probably his team's longest touchdown of the season, right there.
Right. Okay, but let me back that ass up.
Let's back
legendary
that ass up.
Moments are made for the playoffs. Like my one I always go to is
yet.
Jordan Willis. Okay, if you're going to make a legendary moment, that one actually made sense because everybody remembers that play. Like these plays, like Evan McPherson kicking the field goal against the Chiefs to go to the Super Bowl. Everybody remembers that one. It's like those are big time moments. Those are the ones. That's what legendary fucking is. And again, it's you pull up that Presley Harvin fucking moment and you watch that punter kick the ball. That is not a legendary moment. That is a disgrace. They should burn them all right now. That is fucking sad. I hope the person that they kicked out of that fucking building made that Presley Harvin moment. No offense to the people that lost their jobs. I feel bad for those people. But again, it's just like you look at some of these. It's not worth it.
I hear what you're saying, but it's at the same time. So I got what you're saying, but it's all subjective, right? But ultimately, what it boils down to is that I don't think they thought the product would be doing as bad as it's doing. Just honestly, it's tanking in the middle of the season. I think you and I, we've talked about this. We thought it would tank after the season. We thought what's happening right now would be happening in the spring, which makes me wonder what the hell is going to fucking happen in the spring. Because if it's this bad right now, like what's going to happen in April when football season's over and no one cares about this anymore?
I'm going to tell you what they're going to do. They're going to tighten the bolts. No, they're going to do something. They're going to make it where like you have to collect, and if you don't collect, then you like lose stake for the next season. They're going to tighten the bolts. They're going to do something.
They're going to say, if you don't hold it from now until the start of next season, you don't get X. So,
and that's why back in if you go back about 6 episodes ago, I was saying that what they should do is they should take, like sets, and they should have you like mint them or I don't remember like kind of
stake
like
them.
Ethereum.
Talk about
staking them. They should create that, and they should do that towards the end of the season and say, if you don't stake it, you're gonna lose just XY status, whatever. That's what they gotta fucking do.
I know.
Like, go for it.
They got to give you a reason to hold sets.
Yes,
I totally agree.
And it could be as simple as the base 1 series 1 set, and if just imagine, I take mine and I lock it up. And I can't take it. I can't do anything to it for a year. I stake it. You do it. Somebody else does it. You start closing all these doors, and then Johnny Jenkins over there is like, "Oh shit, I better get these moments." You're gonna see shoot, and then the prices are gonna start going up.
Yeah. And
that's what they got to do. And then on top of that, right now they should be burning something. Like all day should be like, you know what? I think this. I'm gonna go a little rogue here for a second. So hear me out, okay?
It wouldn't be an episode if you didn't go rogue.
Right. I think they should create a contest,
okay.
And they should pick 5 players, and there should be 5 players that have about 800 moments left in them, and they should say, we're going to take these 5 players, and whichever one, scores a touchdown today, or whichever one doesn't score a touchdown today, or whichever one loses the contest of those 5, we're going to burn 800 of their moments.
Yeah.
So then you're going to see people go out and go, oh shit, well the value's going to go up with this guy. So then it's like this, like, again, it should be like a playbook challenge. Like, pick one of these 5 guys, and whatever one doesn't win this contest, we're burning that shit. And it's just like, then people are going to start panicking.
They were going to burn moments, remember? But then they were like, no, we're going to give them away to people and let them burn them. So it's interesting. They chose to back off that, and I wonder if they don't regret that now, because it seems like they may regret that decision. So.
Well, no, but I think that's how they made playbook. But again, I think they're in a predicament now where they've got, they're headed towards $2 moments, and now it's time to lay the hammer down.
Yeah.
You got to do it. The commons are getting out of control, and the rares are starting to get there, and the legendaries are starting to, they're not too bad yet, but they're going down.
Yeah. No, I know.
So I feel like the legendaries have kind of hung on probably the best of the bunch. I mean, I guess the rares have hung on, but the commons are...
I think the rares have hung on better than the legendaries. Legendaries, I mean, Series 1 legendaries, there was nothing, I want to say I feel like there was nothing under 1,000, right? And there's been like $30-something rares forever. Yeah. And the rares now are down to like 23, 24, 25. So they've dropped, $10, 30%. But the legendaries, now $280 for a legendary?
Do a search and see how many Series 1 legendaries are under $1,000 versus how many Series 2. That's the difference.
It's going to be more it's these. It's like the historicals right here.
Right, but I understand. I understand, but I'm just curious to know how many are underneath. I mean, I get that, the historicals are where they're at, but really, like the Presley Harvins, I mean, are there really that many? I'm guessing there's probably about 10 to 12 tops.
No, there's a lot more than that. There's 12 under 650.
Holy shit. Okay, legendaries are doing a lot worse than I gave them credit for.
There's 24. There's 28. There's 32. There's 30. Ooh. Well, I'm going to include the at 1,000. So there's 36 legendaries $1,000 or under.
Okay, so here's another thing that we can do. Let's go through some of these names real quick. Okay, sure. Aaron Donald deserves one. Najee Harris deserves one. Davis Mills doesn't deserve one. Mark Andrews.
Yeah, but here's what's crazy. Why is Davis Mills and Najee Harris the same price?
Because Najee Harris, they're going to say he's going to be a bust now.
I know.
How many moments does Davis Mills have?
The same, 49. They're the same amount.
God, I love it. 49. That's a magic number right there.
Yeah, that does.
Cooper Kupp is less than Davis Mills.
Look at this. Here's the Gabriel Davis. Remember this? This is when he caught 4 touchdowns in that one game against the Chiefs. $900.
And that should be a legendary. That should be.
It is, but I'm just saying.
And it should be. But see, you remember that game. That Cincinnati Bengals.
Derrick Henry, $895. That's criminal.
James Conner. Why does James Conner have
Well, Aaron Donald has 2 legendaries, so there's part of it.
That's bullshit, too. There's another one. See, you want to talk about, crafting challenges. This Justin Jefferson might go into effect. You might see Aaron Donald be next.
Yeah. Jordan Willis, that moment you were talking about, that's an 875er.
Right.
There's Presley Harvin III, 735.
Let's watch that moment. Let's show everybody what that fucking thing looks like.
Let's see.
And no disrespect to Presley, he didn't do it.
Well, he did.
All right, here we go. I mean,
right,
at least was it a fake punt?
Bombs it. I think he coffin cornered this. Isn't this a coffin corner? Yeah. That is a nice fucking punt, dude.
That is a nice fucking punt. Yeah.
That is okay. That's a legendary punt.
That's a legendary punt. I gotta give it that. That is a
legendary punt. That there is not. I don't think you can punt a ball better than Presley Harvin punted it right there.
I think that is a fucking legendary punt. I don't take it back, but I definitely give the guy much credit. All right, I take it back.
I think you owe Presley an apology letter.
I guess I've never seen that moment before. I just keep seeing it's a fucking punter.
You owe Presley. I want to see a handwritten apology letter to Presley Harvin. All right, so here we go. We got a Javonte Williams. We got the Evan McPherson, Micah Hyde, Rashard Penny, Jakeem Grant. I mean, these 2 guys are both out for the season, hurt. He's not playing anymore.
Is T.Y. out of the league?
Diggs is playing. What?
T.Y. Hilton's out of the league?
Not on a team.
Okay.
Hyde's
Leonard
hurt,
Fournette,
right?
Fournette had a bunch of touchdowns in a game, but like again,
Joe Mixon. Here's a legendary that's a little surprising. Mixon's actually playing pretty well. This Rousseau kid's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lenny,
Kyler
you got
Murray
Lenny
fell
over
off.
here at 650. This Mike, I mean, no disrespect, but this, first of all, this play is like luck. It bounces off the receiver and he catches it, and it's a cool play. But he didn't do anything except just have good reflexes, and he's an average corner at best. So
Yeah.
he belongs in here.
James
There's
Conner,
Amari.
yeah.
This guy Elijah's been hurt, so that's that. Surtain.
I don't know why Surtain got one. Let's see. The Surtain is at the one where he picks it off and runs it like 100 yards against the Chargers. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they were down. Yeah, the
mean,
Chargers were like kind of driving, and this kind of sealed the game.
I don't think it's a legendary moment.
Yeah, I mean, he's a rookie. They wanted to give him a little something there.
I know. I think what they did is they tried to jump the gun on some of these rookies, like the Javonte Williams.
It's not that they're jumping the gun. It's just that's what people want is like rookies. Like, I mean, think about when people collect. Yeah, football cards. It's like you want a guy's rookie card. That's what you want. Like you want superstars and rookies. So
I get that, but again, Javonte Williams' debut moment is going for like, a lollipop and
because no one cares.
Crumpled up piece of paper.
No one gives a shit about. No one's collecting. It's like fantasy and
or bust.
It's fantasy and challenges, and that's it. And there's been no playbook the last 2 weeks, so people are just like fucking dropping this. I mean, it's just it's like not even. But I mean, like here's the thing. We stopped at 32 right here. Here's another 1,000 for Odell, and even these, it's like it's 1,100. 1150. I mean, there's some good ass ball players like, Rashad Bateman's rookie is 1,200, and there's only 49 of these things. Not that he's that good, but I mean he's good, but he's just not,
Right.
Yeah. Nick Bolton holding at 1425.
Yeah, I mean he's impressive. He's a decent player, but. But
look, Jalen Waddle's rookie is 1675 and Nick Bolton's holding at 1425. Does that seem right to you?
Actually, in my world, it seems right because the defensive player is actually holding well. So,
but that's what I'm saying is it's like that's a really surprising. Like I'm surprised that.
Okay, but can I say how many?
Trey Lance, how you? Yeah. Remember when we saw Trey Lance at the beginning of the season? He was like $5,000, and we were saying he was. We knew he was too much then.
Yeah, there was some guy I remember that was on Discord that got him for like $10,000 or got him. He pulled him in a pack and he was just like flaunting it and being like, "Yeah, I'm going to sell this for so much and like I'm going to make so much money on this." And maybe he sold, but maybe he didn't.
I hope he did. Kyle Pitts, I feel like hopefully they get a better quarterback situation down there. That's a good ball player. That's just kind of.
Is that a third Aaron Donald?
Yeah, it is.
You see what I'm talking about?
It's Aaron Donald, though. I mean, it was a Super Bowl.
I don't give a fuck if it's...
No. Well, he had great plays in the playoffs. It was like, what could you do? It was like he was making...
Make a fucking Joe Montana, then. I
know.
Make a Boomer Esiason.
Burrow, the Jets, the Rams, Jamar Chase, Josh Allen. There's the Bears team moment, the 29er that you were talking about.
I love it. And look at the value of that.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah, because there's at least 29 Bears fans that are collecting these moments that are willing to pay, that see the value of it. And there's our number one.
20
Tom Brady,
9.
Only 29 of these things, even though he's kind of shit in the bed lately.
Yeah, but that's dropped dramatically. That was $16,000.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The legendaries are dropping, man.
Trevor Lawrence. $5,000. Holy shit. He was way down just like 2 days.
Let's see. Have any of these actually?
He was 2,300. He was at.
But did they sell? That's the question. Or did people just raise?
Correct. I don't.
Yeah. See, 2,900. Well, here's a 3,900 a month ago. Well, that's a month ago.
Goddamn Kookaburra got one for 18. That dude's good, man.
Yeah. He's sitting on what's it called? He's got a Jolly Joker. He's just sitting on Sniper on the moment and picking these things off for whatever.
Well, he's also got some cash. He's got some kuka cash because he's
got some kuka cash. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. But I mean, well, look, 3 hours ago, number 11 went for 2,400.
Yeah,
3 hours.
That's why
ago.
I was right.
Well,
that's
that's
why
it jumped way up. There was
right.
So like
right.
that's what I'm saying is it's like don't like these legendaries like I don't like the valuation on the legendaries because it goes off of the current listed price, which is kind of some bullshit. It should go off the last sold price. Like honestly, the value of a legendary is what did it sell for last, not what the like show me the lowest ask here. But when we're talking about like when we're looking at like on the moment and account valuations and that kind of stuff, don't like this is bullshit. Like tell me what's the last price it sold for, because that's a more accurate
that's what it's
number.
worth. Yeah, I completely agree. I saw that it was 2,300 about 4 or 5 hours ago, and the fact that I saw it for $5,000, I knew something changed.
I guarantee you that there will be like someone's going to list a Lawrence tomorrow for $4,000, and then in a couple of days someone will list one for $3,000, and then it'll be back down to like 2,800 in no time. So
right. So okay, let's talk about where things are going.
Yeah.
Where do you think
pretty
things
easy.
Just
down? I mean, it's like this is like predicting the weather in California. It's sunny. I mean, yeah. Look, things are going down.
So
like
how far down do you think? I mean, like okay, so let's talk about where do we see $2 moments?
Yes.
I mean, I know we've seen a couple.
Yes.
Are we going to see $1 moments?
Yes.
Okay.
$1 commons they will happen. They are inevitable.
Right. So again, if it's inevitable, and you and I both think that, then this is where NFLAllDay has to step in and do something about it. And again, you know what?
Like,
get the kids involved. Get the kids. I told you,
giving these away to the schools or something. Hey, kids,
do the kids.
You guys like football NFTs?
If I was a real dick, I'd make you pull up the comments and say they can afford that one, they can afford that one, and they can afford that one.
Here's the thing. I shit on your kid's idea, and I'm still shitting on your kid's idea, but it is becoming closer and closer to reality, whether I like it or not. Because when we hit $1 moments, kids will be able to afford these things, and then great. Like, but it's like that. But the problem is it's just going to be a shit sandwich for everybody else, because they're not gonna, they don't give a fuck if they're $1 or $100. They just care that they can trade them with their buddies and say that they have them. We're the ones that are going to be sitting here holding the bags, going, why is my, I bought this for this. Why is it down to this? So,
I think little Jimmy Barnage buys, like a Derek's, or what is it, a Derek's Stingley?
A Stingley Jr., yeah.
A Stingley Jr., and half these kids might buy him and just forget about him. They're like Pokemon cards. They might just buy them and then just forget about them. They're going to eat up the supply, and then maybe they'll have them, and half these kids will be like, what was my password? And forget about them. And that's how they get burned up into nothing.
Yeah, maybe.
So, to me.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anyway.
I think what it boils down to
when they get down to $1 moment.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You probably got something better than I did.
I don't know about that. I was just going to say that I think it's just the whole market. Like, crypto just sucks right now. Like, everything's in the shitter. Bitcoin's under 20 grand. Ethereum is, looking at trying to get into 3 digits.
Yeah.
Flow is like $1.20. NFTs are just like, you watch NFTs on OpenSea, and they just, like, even like the ones that people are like saying, oh, this is the next blue chip and blah, blah, blah. And I just watch the floor price. Down. So it's like the NFT is not, like, the NFL is not immune to this NFT stuff. I mean, I think ultimately what it boils down to is, like, here's the thing. You can, if you believe in like crypto and digital and that, you can put your money in that platform any way you want. You could be buying Flow, you could be buying Ethereum, you could be buying NFTs, you could be buying Bored Ape Yacht Club, you could be buying, this product. The question you have to ask yourself is, of these products, which one do I believe in 3, 4, 5 years is going to be back at full strength, like what's going to have value in 3, 4, 5 years? And I think, again, I mean, I think that like things like Ethereum and Flow, like the networks and such, there's going to be value there. And I think they will grow. I think, certain NFTs will have some growth as well. But to me, there's something here with NFL, like in that when you look at football cards, for instance, cards from, 3, 4, 5 years ago keep value, maintain, and grow because those players, especially these rookies and like these debuts, they're still sought after in that time frame. And so the way I look at it is you're like anybody who's putting any money in any type of digital, crypto, anything is taking a huge risk. So I think the benefit here is you're just taking that same huge risk, but you're throwing the NFL on top of it as like your insurance policy. Is like I mean, if anything's going to succeed in the digital space, the NFL is a proven commodity. So I think, So my thought is like that's what you're doing here. You're taking a huge risk, but less of one with the NFL. So,
got it. Well, let's do a little question and answer thing here.
Sure.
Let's pitch some ideas that we have for NFL All Day. That what we let's maybe we got to pause it. I don't know what we got to do, but what do we think they could be doing to make things better? I mean, it's very easy to bitch, but what are some concrete things if you could get on with the leaders of All Day and you could give them any advice? What would be a few things that you would want them to really handle?
I mean, that's a tough question because the problem right now is not the product. The problem is that there is not demand, right? Like we are in a place where there's a possible recession. A lot of tech companies are laying off workers. Dapper's laying off workers. Wherever you look, tech space is suffering right now, and crypto space is suffering. FTX, look at the huge lawsuit against Tom Brady and the Golden State Warriors and all this stuff. I mean, it is a rough place right now, and so I don't think there's like as much as people want to bitch about All Day and like the team's they're doing this wrong and doing that wrong. You know what? No, sorry. Like there is no one's doing anything wrong. It's just we're in a bad spot. Like I don't think that there's anybody out there who's got this winning formula. Like where if All Day would only do X, Y, Z, it would just take off to the moon. I don't believe that.
Right.
So
okay. So I'll just go ahead and take the ball and run with it here.
Please.
Here's what I'm going to say is.
All right. Hit it.
I don't think that NFL All Day can do anything to stop what's happening. You're absolutely 100% correct. I look at it as it's like a bleeding wound, and the whole thing is just let's stop the bleeding. I don't think that they need to do anything. It's not going to go to the moon, but I do think that we're at $3 moments right now, and we're going to go to 2, and we're going to go to 1, and nobody wants that. So what can we do to stop them from going to 1? And to me, I think they need to take a hardline stance on scarcity. They need to just put their balls on the table and say, hey, we're going to, maybe they do an experiment, try it with a couple players, see what happens. And just see if we can, if you can start to get people buying moments based off of scarcity, whether you got to, we were talking about reward the collectors by saying, hey, if we take and we stake sets, whether you do like a challenge where you just start burning like 800 of like a guy like that, like try it out, put it out there. The whole thing is it's Series 1. I don't think you're not gonna mess anything up. Series 2, you can see like Series 1 is up here. Series 2 is way down here though. The amount of desire for Series 2. So take one of these Series 2 guys that's 10,000 and just flame 1,000 of them and just see what happens. Yeah. I bet you could flame 1,000 of one of these dudes and nobody would even blink. You could just totally
no one would.
not.
Yeah.
So, like to me, it's like you do it and you're like, well, shit, that didn't do anything. All right, let's flame 3,000 of the next guy and just start testing the boundaries a little bit of what's out there. Because again,
but how do you? What are you going to give people to flame 3,000 of them? Like meaning they're distributed. I know what you're saying, like in the sense of Like, I agree. If they're holding on, if I'm like, say there's 10,000 of whoever, right? Player Stingley, because we know there are 10,000 of Stingley Jr.
He's a rookie. I wouldn't take a rookie, but yes, you got the right.
Rookies are going for $4. Like, what? Who cares?
I'm just saying, like,
burn them.
Okay, great. But take 1,000 of Stingley and burn it off. I mean, you could take 3,000 of Stingley and burn it off. Again, I don't understand. It's like if you're trying to stop the bleeding, and maybe they're not. I just think that if you're trying to stop it, there's 10,000 of a moment. You don't have a bunch of new customers, and you're throwing 10,000 new moments out to the same customers, and you're saying, okay, we think you're going to buy them all up. Like, what is the mentality behind that? Like, I want them to just say, wait a minute, let's stop doing that. And they have with some guys. They've limited them to 5,000, but those guys are still, you can see some of those guys are still going for $5. So you can see that there's not the demand there. So
here's the problem, though. They have so yes, you're absolutely right. There's not new people. That's what it boils down to.
But we're not going to stop that problem. We're not going to create. We're not going to make that go away right now. But that's my point. Is it's like, but people don't care about like the old players. They want what's hot right now. So they want to use these moments. Like right now, the top two things these moments are being used for are fantasy leagues and challenges. That's it. Right.
So if I don't have, let's take, who were we talking about? Oh, Christian Watson up until a few weeks ago didn't have a moment. So if like we stop making moments, we're like, hey, we're not going to make any more moments. We're going to stop flooding the market. But all of a sudden, Christian Watson's scoring all these touchdowns. Well, guess what? The people, your number one consumer, now wants a Christian Watson moment so they can play him in their fantasy league. Right?
Put them out.
Right, so that's what I'm saying is it's like so you still have to put out new moments. So I think maybe
I'm saying put out new moments, but you gotta read the room. You're putting out a defensive player 10,000.
It's like So I'm saying like here's what I would say is like just take your releases and scale them way down. Like there doesn't need to be like I love defensive players. I love defensive football, but they're just clogging up the pipes right now. Like, they're not doing anything. Like, unless you're going to make them matter, unless you're going to release these defensive moments and make them matter in challenges, in holds, in, whatever, which is what I think they should do, but they're not, then don't release them. Just stop releasing them. Because they don't, no one gives a shit about them, except for, 10 people who like that player or team, and everybody else is just like, let me know if I need them for a challenge because then I'll get one. Otherwise, it's just like they're gonna burn them. So again, if you want to talk about the way to again, we talked about this make people collect the set and hold them. That works for you and me, but for these fantasy players, they don't give a fuck. They don't care. They don't want to hold these things because they don't do anything for them. And so they look at that as a penalty. They're going to bitch. And again, that's their biggest customer base right now. And it's like, if you're like, hey, if you hold the entire base set of Series 1, you get exclusive pack access for blah, blah, blah. They're going to bitch and say, I don't want to hold, 100 defensive players because they don't do anything. And so
they do something.
Well, they would then, but the point is they're like, that's not why I hold these moments. I hold these moments because I want offensive studs. I want players that I watch, that I root for, that I can use in challenges and use in fantasy. I don't want to hold, whoever, Tyson Campbell and, Brandon Eccles and all these guys because they don't do shit. They don't do things in fantasy or these challenges. And so they don't want them. And so it's like NFLAllDay is trying to they do a good job of listening to the customer, but at the same time, they might be listening a little too much to the customer in the sense of they're just not, they're not thinking through the longevity of moments and having things beyond the fantasy realm. So.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. And I mean, this idea. I mean, I think that some of these people are holding these defensive moments, but again, I think to agree with what you're saying is that they're not giving them a reason to want to hold these. You've got to, they've got to just control the situation. They've got to, again, start, I mean, test the waters a little bit, burn some guys, come up with something a little bit different. They keep running playbook, and I feel like behind the scenes they should be saying, and maybe that's what they're going to come out with. You know, maybe they did the mid-season thing, and now they're going to release part 2. You know, maybe they've got like a new formula here, and you know they've done pretty good when their backs have been against the wall. To me, I feel like they're going to do something here to kind of rattle the room. They've got to. And another thing I feel like they should be doing is, I feel like they should be like, you know, these pack drops are not going that well. Maybe they should be doing auctions. Maybe, you know, you take X amount of guys and you put them to an auction and you say, hey, listen, you want this moment, you got to auction up, and if you're one of the top whatever, then you're going to get one.
Yeah.
Instead of,
I mean,
and whoever doesn't get bought up in the auction, we burn them. Or, you know, like whatever. I mean, they gotta take a hard stance on some of these and just take a few players and see what happens. You know, they're you know, maybe you get a couple wrong, but again, I feel like they're just hitting it the same thing. They're just hitting it the same way. And they've done a few things different. I know you want to jump in here, and I know
go ahead.
The legendaries, they went from like 59 to 79 to 99, and they made that decision. I think that's a terrible decision, but at least they tried something different. I give them credit for that. So for that, great. You made a decision. You tried something different. Now it's time. I've seen I've seen like the commons. They've gone from like 10,000 to 5,000. That's fine. But now it's time to start slashing some of these moments. You got to start burning them. You got to fucking burn them. That's it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. I mean, I agree with what you're saying, but I was just going to say, like, defensive. Like, I pulled up, here are all the common moments, defensive players from Series 1. So, not even Series 2, because we know that they're all going to be cheap. Right. But, so, Chris Harris and Nick Neiman right now are part of a burn challenge
Chargers,
for the Eckler. So throw them out. These are inflated right now. Aaron Donald is $13. Yep. He is the defensive player of the year. So we understand.
Yep.
But you go beyond that. There is not a defensive moment over $6. It's $6. For the highest, like any defensive common is $6. You talk about Surtain's rookie, Bosa's debut, TJ Watt, Rousseau's debut, you know, any of these players. You talk about anybody. And it doesn't matter if they're good, not good, whatever. Like,
I mean, let's talk about this for a second. Who are good defensive players right now? Like, I mean, who would you say would be like a top? Like, I look at that list and I don't like.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, the commons aren't great, but my point is that it's again like Surtain's rookie. He's a decent ball player. Nick Bosa's debut. Nick Bosa's a good ball player. He's a good defender. His debut shouldn't be $5.
No, it shouldn't be. No, you're absolutely right.
TJ Watt,
but again,
debut should not be $5. That guy is tied for the most sacks in a single season in the NFL ever, and his debut is $5.
Right. I'm just trying to think of who are the household names on defense right now.
I mean, TJ Watt, Aaron Donald, Nick Bosa. Those are 3 household names.
Yeah.
Now,
Myles Garrett's another.
Who's that?
Myles Garrett's another one.
Yeah, Garrett. Where is he even at?
He's in 5.
But his debuts are rare, so it's not his debut to be. Actually, he's not. He's in 4 because he's not shown up as a 5.
There's just not a lot of names here.
Garrett's a Series 2, so.
Yeah.
I mean, and a lot of the defensive players, they make their debuts rares, things like that, just because, again, because they know
like
less
in the
people
trenches and ball hog. Yeah. But I mean, again, when you look at the highest commons right now that are offensive, it's not good either.
Yeah, I mean,
you take quarterbacks out of that mix, and you've got you got a few guys, but you don't got that many.
Yeah, I mean, here, let's just look at this is the Series 1 commons.
Right, you got your Brady, and you got
Brady, Allen. There's Jefferson. So we were saying top 10. He's number 3 overall, common wise.
Right,
actually tied for number 2.
Right,
Kelsey, Mahomes, Chase, Jackson, and this is a rookie, so Chase is inflated, even though he's hurt a little bit right now. Another Mahomes, Tyreek, Jalen, Burrow, Justin Fields up there because he's been playing so well lately.
Right.
And now we're getting into, all right, so Aaron Jones inflated because of the challenge. Eckler inflated. Lamb 16, Burrow, Allen, Kittle.
But this is another Burrow, another Allen. I mean, same guys retread.
Kittle, Donald, Barkley, Chase. But see, now we're already down to $12. We're already down to $12. And then here we're at 11. I mean, McCaffrey, remember, he first came out, he was $40. Couldn't be, or he was what, 60 or 40? Or
yeah, he was 60.
Couldn't get him under that. Now look at him. I mean, these team debuts, like these things were in the 30s. They're down to like 10 now.
Yeah.
I mean, here's a good example. Stephon Diggs, he is a baller. $10 debut. This is a debut. This is not just like a, like I get like Herbert, fine. Okay, this isn't his debut. I mean, but look at their rare debuts. Like, remember Mahomes' rare debut is like 1,800. Now it's like, I don't even know, what, 700? I mean, the ass is falling out of this thing. And I don't know. The only thing that's going to save it is if, like, basically, there's only one thing that saves this whole market, and that is
more
crypto picks up and goes through a whole another cycle. You see those Bitcoin, like, God, Jesus, help us if we start turning into these guys. But you see those Bitcoin charts, right, where it like ramps up, it dumps, it sits in a bear market for 18 months, 24 months, it ramps up, pumps, dumps, saying, but each time it kind of like incrementally goes up, right? I mean, that's what we're waiting for. We are literally waiting for that next euphoria Bitcoin wave to rise up. And when that does, everything else is going to go with it, including NFL NFTs. That's what you're waiting for. I'm telling you, like, you tell me one other thing that's going to get more people into this product. I'm telling you right now, that's it. That's the only way this product goes up. And I think it will happen. I think crypto and I think that blockchain, there's a lot of potential there for like real world solutions. And so I think there are, more bull runs to come. But that is what we are waiting for, period. That's it.
To me, it's this simple. It's like when Ethereum, Bitcoin, they all went down before. Everything's down in the dumps. Everybody's down on it. Everybody's bitching.
Yep.
Just go out there and buy it now. Because, again, $2, $3, $4, $5, $1, if any of these go back to where they were, man, fuck it. I mean, again, it doesn't matter if you buy. I mean, people are like, don't tell people. Like I said something on Twitter and they're like, don't tell people to buy them at $4. They're going to go down further. Great. If you buy them at 4, 3, 2, 1, I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of difference, but at the end of the day, these are going to go back to $20, $25.
Right.
In my opinion, that's what they're going to do. Like Christian McCaffrey right now, I feel like he might be like a $60 moment again, not just because of a challenge.
Yeah.
Even because of just inflation, like the dollar is, like people are worried about inflation. If the dollar's not worth as much, then these are going to get jacked up to more dollars. So again, it's like you're almost putting your money in an asset in a sense.
Right. You are.
Not to get kind of technical, but
you're investing in a product that there's a certain number of people right now who are in this product, and it's a set number, right? It's like 80,000 or whatever we figured it out.
Right.
That's it. That number is only growing or shrinking by a few hundred, maybe 1,000. It's not doing a whole lot. And it's not going to do a whole lot for quite a while. For 12, 18, 24 months. But then when all of a sudden, when you start seeing like, when it's like, oh, hey, Bitcoin's up to 30 grand. Oh, hey, Ethereum's up to 2 grand again. When you start hearing stories like that, then you'll start seeing things like this, like, oh wow, Christian McCaffrey's up to $18 all of a sudden. Like hey, my other NFTs are up a little bit here. Like it has that effect, and then it's just riding that wave up. So
right.
That's what it is. It's like the wave came in, it's up. All day was basically as that wave was crashing. So that wave's crashed. You just got to wait for that. You can't surf until that next wave comes in. So everybody's just waiting for that next wave to surf. That's what it boils down to me.
Again, I hope people keep dumping. I really do. I mean, the more they dump,
they will. People always panic. People always oversell. That is how it has been through history. So
please keep it coming, because again, it's like I can't get enough of this shit.
Hey,
you know?
push them down to $1. I hope they
Push
do.
them down to $1.
I really do.
I do, because you know what? I'm going to be right there buying them.
Yeah, me too.
And you know what? Yeah. So until Dapper closes up shop or Flow closes up shop, I mean, I guess, you know, that at that point, you know, I guess we got to move them. Here's the thing. I would say this is that even if Dapper closes down shop and Flow closes down shop, and we can take them and move them off the chain and keep them for ourselves, I still think they have value. I really do.
Someone
I
would
still
have
think
to port them to another network, but I could see, you know, again, there's enough people who have put money in this that people would do it.
Right. And like, you know, maybe in 10 years, people will be like, oh my God, you got that one set. They like made those and then they canceled it. And like only so many people got to keep them. Again, people, if they start to cancel these, pull them off the network and try to hold them, because I feel like at the end of the day, you'd have to do it one by one. That's what I'm understanding right now. But I still think it would be worth it. Probably start with your legendaries and your rares first. That would be my
start at the top. PJ Walker first.
PJ Walker first. Cool. All right. Well, hey, let's wrap this one up, because I think we're going on about 16 hours here. So if you made it this far, we want to say congratulations. We don't have a prize for you, but thank you for coming this far.
Sure we do. It's a free $1 moment. Courtesy us.
Exactly. And for that one person, also just try and like and subscribe. So we need a couple more likes and subscribes. So, you know, like, be our friend. So yeah, we'll catch you on the next episode, and we're out of here.
See ya.